Hi folks, welcome back to the Hoard. I think you guys can see that. And lastly, so the sun's beyond my my panel there. I'm kind of trying to get some stuff running, and I am going to have to cut the grass this year. So I walked over to the John Deere here, and this is where I parked it in the fall. After shredding the leaves. So, I'm kind of like looking at the sky going, boy, it's a beautiful day. Weather don't get no better than this. I should fire this thing up, see what kind of situation I got going on here. And for two reasons. So I can figure out what I'm going to do with this, or do I have to put a lot of effort into this thing real quick to get it running? Where am I going? So I uncovered it, just as you see, and I touched the key, and it turns out the battery held a charge since last winter. This is an eBay gel cell, and I'm like, whoa, cool. So now we're going to try a cold start. We'll see what happens, if she fires up or not. So I just put some gas in it. I had run it out of gas, and I drove it over here. As a matter of fact, the clutch was still on for the blades. So I must have literally drove it over here or pushed it over here, because or shut it down with the blades running, but not a smart thing to do. So let's put this over by choke. Now, this thing hasn't been run since last year, so I know there's no gas in the carb. So let's give it a little hoot of ether and see how she does. Well, that saved the battery some effort. So, this is obviously a John Deere 160. That's where it came from. Got the Kawasaki engine on it. God, one has to love it after sitting all winter that it fired up that easy. I figured I'd turn it over a couple of times on the battery just to get some oil moved around. And then with the starting fluid, obviously she fired right up. For those of you, quick history on that tractor. My boss bought it new, my old boss, and he used it until he blew the rear end out. Those have kind of the gears, the shafts run on these bronze bushings, and the bronze bushings tend to wear out, especially the original ones, the OEM ones. And once the bronze bushings wear out, the shafts start to do weird things, and it got to the point where there was so much play that the gears were slipping, and he drove it like that for a while longer, and the play got so bad that the gears actually kind of bound against each other, and he cracked the case. So that's when he gave it to me. It ran, but it wouldn't move. It just, you'd put it in gear and ease out the clutch, and it just it wouldn't move at all. I got it and I put an eBay rear end in it. I found the rear end for a 160 on eBay and popped that in there, and I've been using it since. I think the rear end cost me like $125, $150. Given that they're known for blowing rear ends, there aren't too many. It's not the fail mechanism for the tractor is the rear end's blowing. So the engine seemed to hold up pretty good. The rest of the body and the deck and all seems to hold up pretty good. The weak link seems to be the rear end. So every once in a while, I'll see one of those on Craigslist around here, and they're reasonable too. But the rear end's blown. So what do? You know, it's not. You can't do too much with it when the rear end is dead. So anyway, it runs. I put a rear end into it, and here we are. So that's going to be how I cut the lawn this year. I also got to dig the Kubota out of the shed and get it fired up. I know that battery is dead because it was dead before winter, and sitting all winter, I'm sure it froze up and cracked, and it's really dead. So given that it's running, that the Deere is running now, I don't have to worry too much about not being able to cut the lawn. One thing that I've taken to doing, and some of you guys might consider this, and I hope I didn't already tell you guys about this, because then you're going to think I'm senile. But what I like to do is, I got a pile of these cans here. 2 of them are full. With an empty one of these cans, I put a ½ an ounce of seafoam in it, and then I fill the rest of it up with regular gasoline, and that's what I run through as the first fuel of the season, or if there's, the gas is a little bit shaky or whatever. I like to do that. It seems to clean the carburetor up real nice. They seem to like that. It seems to give the gasoline a little bit more boost, a little bit more octane. I bought 2 cans, 2 of these 16-ounce cans. I guess 16 ounces a pint, I guess. Anyway, because 2 pints to a quart, and a quart is 32, and 4 times 32, 4 quarts to the gallon. So anyway, I bought 2 of these. They were like $19.50 delivered. They were an eBay deal. So that's pretty cool. Typically, if one goes over to, occasionally they go on sale at AutoZone or something like that, but I seem to remember paying about $11 a bottle. So I figure if it shows up at the house and I don't have to pay tax at it for under $10 a bottle, I'm doing okay. You guys will probably tell me that there's, you go to Tractor Supply and you get it on sale for $7.50 or something like that. But I'm not that lucky. I just said, heck, I don't have to do anything except push the order button and it'll show up at the house. And once again, so 1 ounce, and then the rest of this with gasoline, and it seems to help the carb. It seems to clean them up pretty good. So there we are. All right, folks, I want to thank you all for watching and commenting, watching and taking the time to comment. I want to thank you all for subscribing. Folks, please keep your feet down, keep your head up, and get out there and enjoy all your days. Bye now.